Carlos, what impressed you the most about Canning when he got into trouble, the pitches that he was able to make to get out of it?
Yeah, that he kept making pitches against a good lineup. They created traffic. They put together some tough at-bats, and he kept finding ways. I thought he made a really good adjustment after the first inning where he left few sliders up in the zone. And then watching him go out there and make some adjustment, I thought he got Kepler for strike three on the slider down. He mix and match. Like I said, that's a tough lineup, and it took a lot from him. First time going on regular rest, and he found a way, and that's what you're looking for.
As you learn about some of your new guys here, seeing him make the adjustment today, his last start, I believe, he made an adjustment after reading some swings. Is that something that stands out to you about him early on?
100%. You go in with a game plan, but you have to adjust because teams will adjust to you. He did it last time he went to his fastball when he recognized that they were sitting on his secondary pitches. And then today, I thought the adjustment was with him executing his own pitches, whether it was the changeup and the slider, getting it down. Because like I said, on that first inning, everything was kind of up in the zone. And he found a way, battle, never panic. When they created traffic, they put together some good at-bats, like I said, and he was still able to make pitches. And then on that fifth inning, getting Castellanos there was huge. Getting ahead and then executing the slider for the strikeout.
Tony?
We've asked you a lot about the rotation in the past few days, weeks. Recognizing that it's still obviously early, to what extent has this success maybe even exceeded what you thought was possible heading into the year?
Look, we knew we were good. And coming into camp, we kept talking about our depth. And even when Manaya went down, when Montas went down, we felt good with what we had, with the options that we had. Then Blackburn goes down, and we're still feeling pretty good about it. We were like, all right, we're probably one injury away from, reaching here. But we knew those guys, especially with the way they came in, the way they were throwing the ball in spring training and the feedback that we were getting from them. So, and that's what we're seeing right now. Guys are going out there, taking the ball, giving us a chance to win baseball games, attacking the strike zone, and it's fun.
And then what did you think about Taylor's play, getting that double play there?
Yeah, good, man. He's a baseball player. He's a play where he has to come in, and once he knows he's going to get there, he kind of, tricked him a little bit there, and then catches it and throws a perfect throw to first base to get Schwarber there. Not an easy one, some instincts in there, and that's who he is. He's a baseball player.
Tim?
Vientos had the double in the first inning, added a walk late in that big seventh. What have you seen from him in the last 5 to 7 games with some extra base hits? Seems to be coming around a little bit.
Same guy that I saw at the beginning of the year when he wasn't getting results. And I also thought he drove that ball to right field. I thought he had a chance. But really good at bat that first inning of Sanchez, 2-out double. Then the walk, like I said, controlling the strike zone and then hitting pitches with authority. And that's who he is. So. And I feel like he's been doing that the whole year. Now he's just getting some results.
Manny?
Can you just talk about what Luis Torrens has meant to this team since he came last season?
He's been huge, man. We're talking about last season, and the impact, we felt it right away, and he just carried over. This is a guy that is prepared. He knows his role, If he's not playing every day, he knows he's ready, and when he gets the opportunity that he's playing every day, like right now, he shows that he's capable of catching every day and handling a pitching staff. His ability to control the running game. He's gonna give you good at bats. He's gonna put the ball in play. He goes the other way. Like there's a lot to like about this guy.
Will?
Hey, Carlos, just what did you like specifically about that first at-bat from Vientos? I know he came through against that changeup. Looked like he was almost ready for it.
First at-bat of Sanchez, I thought he laid off some tough pitches, I think he went 0-2, 3-2, if I'm not mistaken, and then he ended up hitting that ball down the line. It's just how he battled like foul off some tough ones there and finally got a pitch and put it in play. But lay off some tough one, like I said, and he's against a pretty tough arm on Sanchez. Not easy to do, and he did it today.
Mark.
Carlos, do you think Alonso's defense gets overlooked a little bit? And just what did you think of the scoop he had from Vientos?
I think he's probably the best in the game at it, to be honest with you. I know the difference in numbers, I guess it's because of range or, but when it comes down to picking balls in the dirt, Pete is right there in the conversation, some of the best in the game. That today is a game changer. I think there's two guys on, not an easy play for Vientos, and for him to stay in the base and having the ability to pick the ball up. Not an easy one there, and in between one, and big play there.
Dan.
Carlos, also on Alonso getting hit like that, it's kind of a scary moment, just kind of close to his wrist. Was there any concern?
Yeah, I
about
thought
that?
it was the arm wrist, but when I got there, it's like, no, it hit me in the chest. So I was like, okay, I know you gotta be in pain, but it's not. And then I guess a little bit in the forearm. But when I went out there, he said it got me in the chest. So
And with him, just obviously he's been productive throughout his career, but this year in run scoring situations, he's got as many RBIs as anyone. Is there a difference with his approach, or have you seen anything about why he's been so productive in those situations?
well, these guys, when you look at his numbers throughout his career, the RBIs they've been there. Last year was kind of like an up and down for him. We didn't see that consistency, and right now out of the gate, it feels like he's not missing pitches, he's not chasing, and he's short to the ball, and he's using the whole field, pulling it, going the other way, going dead center. He's a hitter.
Ed.
Carlos, what's your reaction to being 10 over 500 so far?
That what?
And are you surprised at all?
I mean, it's early, and I'm not looking at the standings. Our job is to continue to win series, You brought it up, I have no idea. Yeah, I know we're playing well. We're racking up wins right now, and that's what you want, But we still got long ways to go, And we can sit here and we got every game, every day, every series, and that's our mentality here. It's too early to start thinking or talking about things like that because there's a lot more to come.
Steve.
Carlos, back to Terens for a second. In that seventh inning, you could have pinch hit Nimmo in that spot. What made you feel like sticking with Terens there was the way to go?
I don't know. That was a tough one there, having a guy like Nimmo off the bench. But I don't know. It's just the matchup. Looking at the matchup, Nemo's going to say it's the best matchup there, right? Nothing against Louis. But, I just like how, you're already up 2. I like the feeling for the game, the game calling, even though you got a good one on Senger, the defense is as good as Louis. But, I just took my chances with him and, hopefully he puts the ball in play, finds a hole, and, he gets to 0-2, and I was like, man. And finally, he get the single, and I was like, all right.
Harp.
Carlos, does what you've done against the Phillies, the pitching's done against the Phillies the last 2 nights, add any weight in your eyes? Is what guys are doing and putting up the numbers they're putting up, or you just look at it as kind of an overall
To
picture?
their pitching?
The way you've held down the Phillies, does that add any weight in terms of what your guys are doing?
Well, look.
Just because that lineup can be so dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, they're both really good. Atlanta, the Phillies, they're deep, and they can beat you in a lot of different ways, It's good to see our guys matching up against them and playing some really good games. The last 2 nights, close game till the end. We know how good their rotation is. We know how good their lineup is, their bullpen. And, we're competing. We're competing, and we also know we're good. So we still got a long ways to go. We're going to be seeing these guys the whole summer, and it's going to be fun.